Gee, that guy's enormously tall. When the small guy looks up at him, he'll think he's looking at the Eiffel Tower.
Summarize this statement orally first, then write your summary in the workbook on page 31.
You know, Jim, that I came from a really small town. A friend of mine jokes about coming from a town so small that they paint the goodbye sign on the back of the welcome sign. My town is a lot smaller than his.
Summarize this statement on page 32.
I just can't live in this apartment any longer. The pipes are leaking all over the place and the stove doesn't work. Yesterday I spent the entire afternoon trying to bake a cake and I couldn't get enough heat out of that oven to bake a biscuit, not a single solitary biscuit.
On page 33, write your summary of this statement. Most speakers stray from the main message at one point or another. A good listener will shift through tangential or extraneous stories and information in note-taking. In the following statement, try not to let yourself get sidetracked by tangential information. Write a concise summary, including only the main and supporting points.
U.S. savings bonds are one of the best ways of saving for an individual. They get pretty good interest, often as good as you can get on your money. And they're the safest thing you can put your money into. After all, it's as safe as the government. You know, I knew a guy, he's my dad's uncle, Uncle Charlie from Cincinnati, had all his money in stocks and bonds, and then he lost most of it in the big recession. It took him 15 years to get another bundle together. You know where he kept it? In his house, in a secret drawer. And you guessed it, the house burned down and he lost it all again. So there you are. Besides, bonds are very convenient. They'll take them out of your pay at work if you want and save you all the trouble you'll have otherwise.
Now, on page 34, write a summary of this statement. In this statement, you'll find that a market research company has been trying to persuade the vice president in charge of sales in a small soft drink company to undertake market research study to determine if they should expand their product line. The market research representative's views follow.
Sure. You may have been in business a pretty long time, but there are advantages to a market survey, even for very experienced firms. National Cola, for one, and all the other really big bottling companies undertake almost continuous market survey studies. Do you know Chris Blevins, the woman who makes these decisions for National Cola? She's a good friend of mine. We grew up together. Funny thing about Chris, we all thought she'd grow up to be a stay-at-home mom. Boy, has she changed. Chris turned out to be a very hard-headed gal. She really can make the most out of a dollar. Well, she's sold on market research. She won't make a move without taking a survey first. She says it describes the preferences of her buyers. That's important to know. In fact, you can't make a move without knowing your buyers' preferences. A survey also helps you know how to price a new product, and sometimes a survey will help you to solve problems that were unrealized before the survey began.
Summarize this analysis orally, then add your summary to your workbook, page 35.
The right kind of motor oil performs many useful functions in your car. One thing, it takes a lot of strain off the engine when you start in cold weather. You know, it isn't just any oil that will get you going on those freezing, snowy days when it really makes a difference. You know, sitting there, trying to get it going, freezing your pants off when you really wished it did whatever would get you out of there. Also, when it's hot, a good oil makes a difference. Ordinary oil gets very thin when it's hot. Sometimes it gets so thin it can't cover engine parts properly. When this happens, the parts scrape against each other because they are not lubricated enough. They get wear and tear and loss of power. However, with the right kind of motor oil, they'll stay thick enough, even if it gets very hot, to cover moving parts with a strong film that does a good job of lubrication. A good oil will also pick up bits of dust and metal particles that get into the engine and get them out of there, so keeping the engine clean. This is very important because if the engine is dirty, it won't run properly. In ordinary driving, every engine produces a certain amount of harmful acids which attack bearing surfaces and other delicate engine parts. A good motor oil is made with special chemicals that reduce the effects of these acids as they are formed and so protect the engine against acid attack. You know, motor oil might look like orange juice to you, but your car cares about it.
Summarize this explanation first orally, and then add your summary to page 36.
Well, I've been looking and thinking, and I've come to the conclusion that my best bet is the purchase of a compact car. For one thing, a compact car costs less to buy, maybe because it's so much smaller than a regular-sized car. You can get more for your money this way, which means a lot when you're on a low salary. Much as I'd like to, I can't afford to go out and buy the biggest and most beautiful thing that catches my eye. Besides, after you've got it, a compact car is a lot cheaper to maintain. A lot of the cost of owning a car is buying gas and oil and paying taxes and insurance depending on how big the car is. And when you figure these out, a compact car costs only about half as much as a big van or SUV. Another important thing is that a compact car is more convenient to operate than a big car. It's easier all around, driving and parking and changing a tire. And besides, you won't think badly of me, I hope. I know it may seem mean, but I'm serious about my job at Fitness Unlimited. And a compact car looks kind of sporty and energetic. And I think it just might help me beat out my coworkers when a new management position comes up.
On page 37, write a summary of this statement. This is the end of part 1. In part 2, the statements will become longer and more complex.